la la la.
So blast damage is just a bit more blasty. Pablo wasn't bloody lying, was he? Now, if you've been trying out blast damage with the changes in Jade Shadow, what weapon have you been having the most fun with? Because there is a lot of weapons that are really excelling with it right now. But blast damage has undergone some significant changes with the Jade Shadows update, and it is definitely making us take a second look at some of our arsenal, maybe some of your older weapons. Or with Jade, because Jade having blast status on her exalted glory sidearms is a thing of feckin' beauty. Mama can't feed you right now, Mama's gotta blow some bad guys up. Certain weapons are now really standing out with these changes. It's not a change to the overall meta in the game, but it is a really nice option now for some of our weapons, with beam weapons in particular benefiting in a huge way, especially if it's a beam weapon that can have multiple elements on it like blast, viral, corrosive, especially if you can get the help of a buff from a Warframe that's maybe giving you extra elemental damage, like this with the Torrid Incarnate, which was already one of the best weapons in the game. Now it's even better with those chain explosions, or weapons like the Spirothrix with its augment for more explosions, or the Phantasma. But my personal favourite is a weapon that was already one of my go-to sidearms. It is of course the Compressor from Yareli, the exploding bubble gun, which now has extra explosions on top of it. It is a weapon that's really good at priming enemies. Now it's got that explosion throwing in for extra effect. But there is also this video from Reddit by Twilight053 which shows the Incarnate Furus absolutely obliterating a huge group of enemies, so much so that they just disintegrate. They're just no longer there anymore. So how does the new blast damage work? So the new blast damage will cause a mini explosion after 1.5 seconds of you applying a blast proc, dealing 30% of the base damage, and it will do this for each blast proc that you apply, up to a maximum of 10 stacks. Now you can see when you apply a blast by the sparks that follow it, and of course the small damage numbers that will chain across those enemies, as well as some additional stagger. However, at 10 stacks of blast or at death, the explosion will deal 300% of the base damage in a 5-meter radius to nearby enemies, and of course it will stagger any survivors. This explosion, when enemies are grouped up together, is absolutely bonkers. So if you've got a Warframe that can group, then it's definitely recommended if you want to run some blast. But because of this 300% 5-meter explosion from that initial target, it will cause a chain explosion to other enemies that are already affected by blast as well, which makes them blow up and cause their 5-meter explosion to go off, and then it's going to cause the next one, meaning that you can wipe out big groups of enemies really, really fast as those chain explosions just continue to erupt. Now, unarmored enemies, of course, will take more damage than armored, so a Warframe that can strip is going to be a great option, which is what my Corvex is doing in some of this footage with his new Wrecking Wall augment. It's stripping all of the defenses from enemies, and because that wall puts them in a straight line, it's allowing my Spirothrix to basically punch through each one of them and make them all blow up. But like I said earlier, I have been using it a lot on the Compressor sidearm from Yareli, and there's just something almost mocking about using this weapon, since it does use explosive bubbles in order to kill enemies. It's just really nice to use. So this rework definitely makes blast damage more explosive and definitely more fun to use. But like I said at the start of the video, let me know in the comment section below what weapons you've been enjoying blast damage on the most, or which ones have caught your eye or made you sit back and go, oh wow, that's actually crazy. Either way, have a great day, have a great week, and as always, thanks for watching.